Great. So tonight we have a special guest on our Blues Talk, which is going to start shortly. Sallie Bengston from NOLA Blue is going to be interviewed by our president, Catherine Gregoire. After Blues Talk, we have Bob Wineland coming up at 7:20, and then we have the Mighty Clucks at 7:50, and Crooked Eye Tommy Marsh from California is going to come on at 8:20. And then we have our standard social Zoom hour starting around 8:50, 9 o'clock time frame. So let me turn it over to Kathy for a few words on the interview coming up and if she has any other comments. Thank you.
Thanks, JD, for the introduction and also for giving us that vintage jam song, setting the mood here. Uh, One of the things about the jam is when we're there, on Thursday nights, is we find that we often refer to evenings as being magical, like just great music, and can hardly believe that we're so fortunate to be able to have so many wonderful musicians and enjoy ourselves. There's like so many good musicians in the area, and so that's a lot of what we do on Thursday nights here is have those musicians that we know and dearly love to be playing. But also on Thursday nights at the jams, we talk about how you just like never know who's going to show up, what kind of surprise the evening's going to bring. And it's amazing some of the different people that come to the jam, hear about it in different ways, and we've had some wonderful musicians that we get to meet and hear that way. So one of the fortunate things with the Zoom is that we're able to continue that surprise element with our show. So you're able to see the people that you've heard before and you love hearing them, and then you're also able to meet new musicians from around the country. And one of the reasons we've been able to do that is because of Sallie Bengston from NOLA Blues. Uh, One of the things that happens when I talk about Sallie and NOLA Blues is people will say to me, well, what's NOLA Blue? And so I thought for our blues talk tonight that we would have Sallie in to talk about NOLA Blue. And so Sallie, if you could start out the evening telling us a little bit about what is NOLA Blue.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, everybody in the Central PA Blues Society group. Thanks so much for having me tonight. What is NOLA Blue? NOLA Blue is a record label. I'm actually based right in Lancaster, so right in central Pennsylvania. But NOLA Blue started out, interestingly, with publishing a book on Benny Turner, who is an 80-year-old blues icon. He's had an extraordinary career, not the least of which is he's the younger brother of Freddie King and played bass in his band for many years. So I started off with that, working with Benny on his story. We worked with Bill Dahl, who's an amazing musicologist out of Chicago. And in the process of that, started talking to Benny about some of his music and projects and realized that, he needed some forward momentum in getting that music released and getting it out there. And in the process, I got hooked and found that I really enjoyed combining my business skills with my love of the blues. And here I am 6 years later.
And we're so glad that you're here and part of our blues community. One of the things that observed is like what a diverse group of musicians you have. We've had last week we had Clarence Spady, and the week before that we had a young woman, Meg Williams. tonight we're having Crooked Eye Tommy from California, and throughout this next month of August, we're going to be having a lot of NOLA musicians. And see, you have such a diverse group, and some may wonder, like, what is it that you look for to have these musicians be part of your label?
That's a really good question. And I don't have a set answer to that because it's kind of a combination of things. One of the things that has happened as NOLA Blue has evolved over the past few years is I started working with Betsy Brown of Blind Raccoon, and she's located in Memphis, Tennessee, and she does radio promotion and publicity. And so starting to work with her really opened some new doors for me. And we had a really great experience promoting one of Benny's earlier albums and realized that we're kind of kindred spirits. And so we now are business partners. And so that's a long way of saying that sometimes I have referrals that come by way of Blind Raccoon, referrals through other artists, artists talking to their friends and contacting me. Sometimes I might see someone and reach out to them. It's been a little bit of everything. And I love it because, every musician has their unique story. They have their unique gifts and strengths, whether it's songwriting or their musicianship or something personal that they really try to bring to their music with a message. It could be anything. And if it strikes me and I'm passionate about it and I want to get behind it and see what we can do with it, it's been an amazing experience what's happened with Benny over the past few years, as a 60-year career sideman, and now being a front man, it's been really exciting and encouraging. And, when I see good opportunities to do that for other musicians, then that's what I do.
Okay. So what have been some of the musicians that you've done this with? Like, what are some of the more memorable experiences you've had and the artists that you've worked with?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been so fortunate. First of all, not only to the time that I've spent with Benny has been precious and so special. And he's still with us and he's strong and healthy, and hopefully we have many more years. But two other musicians of his generation that I've worked with, Cash McCall, who was out of Chicago, the late Cash McCall, and also Frank Bay, who was right from Philadelphia, and Frank recently passed as well. And to me, to be able to work with these guys who have been out playing the blues, living the blues, creating the history that we're all building upon, today's musicians and today's industry is building upon, is such an honor. And it's such a special pleasure to have had them in my lives and to still have Benny in my life. These guys they're treasures. They're the wisdom and the stories and their perspectives. And it's been wonderful. So those have been very special times for me.
Yeah, and it if you think, like, I think with Benny Turner, didn't you this past year, didn't they have like an 80th birthday celebration in Texas that you were instrumental in doing festival with?
Absolutely, yes. The inaugural Lone Star Blues and Heritage Festival was held in East Texas, not really too far from where Benny and Freddie King and their other siblings grew up. And it was really a full circle moment for Benny being back in that area after the incredible life that that he's lived, to celebrate still being here, you know, a living link to that history. And of course, I feel especially connected to that history because he's my first artist, and I also manage him as well. So yeah, that was very special.
Yeah. So, like with Cash McCall and Frank and Benny, what is like in this past year? It seems like they got a number of different nominees and awards. Can you think of a few of them that you could mention?
Oh boy. There are quite a few.
Yeah.
And yes, well, certainly Frank, I started working with Frank with his Back in Business CD in 2018. And that was produced by Tom Hambridge, who is well known, has works closely with Buddy Guy and has produced many amazing records. So that record was just outstanding. Frank was nominated himself for Male Soul Blues Artist of the Year, and the album was also nominated. Um, his follow-up release that came out this January 2020, All My Dues Are Paid, that is currently nominated for Soul Blues Album of the Year in the Blues Blast Music Awards. So voting is open on that. If you all want to give that your consideration, that would be really a special honor for Frank's legacy. And then going back home, the CD that Benny Turner and Cash McCall did, which is all about just going back to the Chicago classics and their shared history. That CD is up for an award in the Living Blues Awards. The reader, I'm not the Reader's Choice Awards, something like that. I don't have the exact words, but at the moment, but that's currently open for voting as well. So, and there have been others. We've been very fortunate. They're very strong, great projects, and they've been received really well and promoted very well by Blind Raccoon. So it's been very exciting, very rewarding.
And some of that voting kinds of things and information. I know that you do post on the Blues Society of Central PA and Central Pennsylvania's websites, and so when people see that, they'll like have the face behind the name there, so that'll be good. Could you tell us about some of the upcoming events and things that are happening for NOLA Blue?
Sure. I'd love to. We have some exciting things coming up. Actually, later this evening, you'll get to hear the music of Crooked Eye Tommy, and Tommy was a finalist in the solo duo category at this year's International Blues Challenge in Memphis, and so he now has a new album coming out. It's going to be released August 21st. And that is actually on Blue Heart Records, which is a division of NOLA Blue. We can talk a little bit about that if we have time, if not another day. But so Tommy's release is coming out. His single, the title track, Hot Coffee and Pain, is already available with pre-orders. You can download. There's a video. They may be able to play that tonight on the show if you have time. So we're very excited for that. Following that, in September, we've got 2 releases on schedule. We have Eric Johansson, who is a guitarist, singer, songwriter out of New Orleans. And Eric is, he and his cousin Tiffany Pollock had a duet album on NOLA Blue in 2019, which also received many nominations and awards. It's called Blues in My Blood. They're actually cousins. And this is Eric's follow-up record, which is just, it's fabulous. And I'll be sure to keep you all updated on that. We were hoping to get him to join in one of these evenings, but Thursday's his night for live streaming as well. So Kathy and I are putting our heads together. We'll see what we can do. And then we also have on Blue Heart Records, we have Malaya Blue out of the UK. And she is, she's got a dynamic record coming out, beautiful voice, wonderful production, musicians. We're excited about that one as well. And tomorrow we'll have another new artist announcement coming. So check out the NOLA Blue Records Facebook page tomorrow for all the latest.
So while you're at it, what is NOLA?
What is NOLA? NOLA is New Orleans.
Yeah.
And New Orleans is my favorite place. People are always confused when they find out that NOLA Blue Records is headquartered in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But I always say my heart lives in New Orleans. So that's the NOLA. And of course, blue is blues.
Okay, and last week we had Clarence Spady on, and I understand he's going to be coming to Lancaster. That you've made some arrangements there, and he'll be playing at Stoner Grill on August 8th, and they have an outdoor patio, so it makes it a little bit safer than being indoors. So probably people can see you there too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait. It has been too long since I've been able to get out and enjoy some live music. So yes, that's a bring your own chair event, and we can all stay safely distanced and just enjoy a really nice night, nice summer night, and hear some great music.
Okay, you had mentioned about Blue Heart Records. Maybe for last thing, if you want to just say a little bit about what Blue Heart Records is about.
Sure. Basically, Blue Heart Records is an option for artists who don't really want the full arrangement of being on a label. They want to keep their ownership of their music and control of that, but yet still have the benefits of the marketing and the distribution and the promotion channels of a label. So it's kind of like, today in today's world, there are so many vehicles and avenues for artists to put out their own music, which is amazing, and it's really enabling a lot of creativity to be shared. But there's that saying that you don't know what you don't know, and that's kind of where we come in. Again, my business partner Betsy Brown and Blind Raccoon, she and I realized that we have really we have overlapping knowledge, but also complementary knowledge, and when we put it together, we feel that we have a really strong offering for artists to help them get their music out there. And it's a personal approach. I mean, we take it very, very seriously, and it's very hands-on and personal. And we're growing quickly. We've just started this year, and we have 4 artists already. We have Miss Bix, who is out of California, and you'll be hearing more about her music soon. She's got some new music coming up. We have Charlie Bedford, a 19-year-old guitarist out of Australia. And then, of course, we've got Crooked Eye Tommy and Malaya Blue coming up. So it's been a busy year for a new label.
Well, thank you so much, Sallie. And if people want to learn more about NOLA Blue, you have a website which we'll post on Facebook. And really appreciate you taking the time to give us information about the blues business and all the work and all the support that musicians can get as they work to get their music out there. Thank
Oh,
you so much.
thank you, Kathy, and thank you for all that you do and the Blues Society of Central Pennsylvania. I'm excited about the things we've started working on and kind of temporarily got paused with all of the COVID restrictions, but I look forward to lots more good projects and great music ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.